Hey, what is happening, guys? It is Rules for Rebels, and today we're going to be answering the question, is Steemit worth your time? So this is a question I've been getting a lot lately. I figured I'd make a quick video to address it. So I've been on Steemit since sometime in early to mid-June, maybe. I think it's like August 15th, August 16th now. So I guess going on about 60 days here coming up probably relatively soon. At first, I made a bunch of videos. I was very, very enthusiastic about Steemit. I recommended all you guys get on there. And as far as that goes, I would say nothing has changed. I still think it's a platform that you want to be a part of. I think everybody out there should have an account. If you're a blogger, if you're a vlogger, if you're a content creator, a photographer, an artist, regardless of what you're doing, if you have absolutely anything going on, there's no reason you should not, at the very least, use Steemit as a place to repost or recurate your content. What I mean by that is if you're already writing a blog, why not repost those blog posts on Steemit? Even if they earn 5 cents a post, that's 5 cents of free money, 5 cents that you wouldn't have otherwise had. And it's also another avenue for people in Steemit to find your blog or find your YouTube channel or whatever else. There's actually a lot of YouTube entrepreneurs who I had never stumbled upon, never found on YouTube, but through finding their content on Steemit, I followed them over to YouTube, and I now follow them on here. I would say there's a good 3 to 4 guys like that. So again, if nothing else, it's a second way to monetize your content for stuff that you're already creating and already investing your time in anyways, and it's another way for new people to discover your content. I will say, however, that my enthusiasm has been kind of tampered down a bit after being on Steemit. I've been meaning to make it my first 30 days on Steemit and kind of share some tips and things like that. I haven't gotten around to it yet. But my first couple weeks on Steemit were fantastic. I was getting a couple bucks per post on a lot of posts. You know, some of them had 5 cents, 7 cents, but I definitely had my fair share of posts that made a couple dollars. I actually had one post where I simply asked a question, I think about how Steemit payments work, and it wound up getting upvoted to the tune of $74. Now, I think the curators or the people who upvote the comment keep 25% of that and split it amongst themselves. I get the rest of it, so I guess that would be, I don't know, what, 40 or 50 bucks that I made off that post. So that's really promising, right? Now, at the time I first got on Steemit, Steam was also trading at, I don't know, $2.15, maybe even upwards of $2.50. So Steam was actually very valuable. So within probably my first 10 days or 2 weeks on Steemit, my account was valued at over $1,400. So it's like, wow, 2 weeks I've created $1,400 in value here. However, right now, you know, even 60 days in, my account's valued at, I don't know, $800, $900, something like that. And that's because Steemit's really tanked. Yesterday, I think Steam hit a low of $1.05. Now, obviously, I can't control the fluctuations of the currency behind Steemit, so that's completely out of my control. But, you know, early on, my account had a lot of value to it. Early on, I was getting a lot of engagement, and as I've continued going, I haven't really felt like the more time and energy that I put into Steemit, like I'm getting a return on that result. And that's not really to criticize Steemit. I just recently started a new YouTube channel, as a lot of you guys know if you watch my channel, because I wanted to kind of do a challenge and see if I could get to 10,000 views in 30 days. The whole reason behind that was people were whining about not being able to monetize. So I said, okay, I'm going to show you guys how easy this is. And I decided to set up the YouTube channel, and it's going really slowly. You know, nothing other than making excuses here, but I haven't been posting or creating as much content as I should. I've been, you know, I come up with all the excuses in the world. I've been sick, I've been working on other projects, etc. But I said that was a goal I was going to meet, and I've been kind of falling short of meeting that goal. I still have about 2 weeks left to try to get there, so I am going to try to ramp that up. But my point is, any complaints that somebody has about Steemit being slow growth and slow progress, you could put over onto any other platform. You want to grow an Instagram account, it's going to be slow growth. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of interaction. You want to grow a new YouTube channel, it's going to be slow growth. You're going to spend a couple months of getting 3 views, 4 views, 6 views on your video before people start following you and before things take off. So really, any complaint or criticism that I could have about Steemit, I think could easily be put onto any other social media platform out there. A couple of my minor complaints about Steemit would be there's not enough of the type of content I like to consume. So, I mean, I don't have a ton of time, so whatever time I do spend consuming content, whether it be video, photos, reading, whatever, I like it to be stuff that I'm interested in, which is like motivation, inspiration, self-improvement, business, Shopify, internet tech, And on Steemit, like, there's a lot of, not that content's not good. You know, I think Steemit has some of the better quality content on the internet. It's just not all of it necessarily appeals to my interests. So Steemit's really about a lot of like contests and photo challenges and things like that. There's a lot of content about Steemit itself. It's very, very heavily focused on cryptocurrencies, which, don't get me wrong, I enjoy and I'm interested in cryptos. But, you know, in smaller doses, it's a little bit too technical for me to really dive in and consume a ton of content about it. Let's see, I've kind of started rambling here. So I think on Steemit we need more content, more diverse content. So, you know, more content about different types of things. Really, this may be kind of a minor complaint of mine. I'm really interested in business and entrepreneurship, and I don't find a ton of that type of, there is that type of content on Steemit, but you really have to seek it out. And that's kind of another complaint of mine, is the search function on Steemit is really, I don't want to say bad. I mean, it's a new platform. Things need to be improved. But when you go to the search function, you search for entrepreneurship or whatever else, and the search function isn't really that accurate. It doesn't really pull up the greatest results. You can sort by either relevance or a date. But let's say I want to look for some content about Shopify or about Amazon merch or whatever. I search it. A lot of times I'm getting content from like a month or two ago as opposed to recent stuff. A lot of times there's not that much of the content. The other frustrating thing is if I hit the back button to go back to look at the next piece of content on the search list, everything is, I don't know, deleted's the right word, but it basically forgets the search. So I have to search all over again. So let's say I type in Amazon merch. I see the first results from like June 15th. I click it. It's not really interesting to me. I hit the back button to go back and read the next result, but it's forgotten my search. So now I have to search Amazon merch again, pull the results up again, and look for the next one. So you're continually having to do like 2 or 3 steps just to pull a new search, which is a little bit frustrating. Another kind of minor complaint about Steemit, I feel like it's not content focused enough. So on YouTube, people are actually going to YouTube to consume content, right? On Steemit, to some extent, I feel like it's a lot of creators and not a lot of consumers. What I mean by that is like everybody's talking at each other, you know, like, hey, here's my blog post about Shopify. Here's my blog post about the Red Photo Challenge. Here's my blog post about the Support Minnows Project. And everybody's talking at each other and nobody's really listening because everybody is content creators. And I think it makes sense. The early people to adopt a platform are probably going to be the most active and engaged and are probably going to be creators as opposed to viewers. But if we're all talking at each other, we definitely need to bring some more people over here to consume content and comment and upvote and things just like YouTube, as opposed to all of us just wanting to get our content out there. I guess at the end of the day, here's what it boils down to. I would not recommend, actually, I don't even know if I want to say that. I was going to say I would not recommend getting on Steemit purely for the money. Like if you're thinking like, should I start publishing ebooks? Should I start an e-commerce store? Should I start trying to sell t-shirts on Amazon merch? Or should I do Steemit? Like, I don't think Steemit should be an option in that conversation, because I don't really view Steemit as a standalone business or a full-time income, though people are making money. And that's one of the other cool things about Steemit, is everything is public knowledge. I mean, I can look at anybody's wallet. I can see how much money anybody's post made. If somebody runs a contest and says I'm going to give away 5 Steem, I can actually look at their account and see if they really gave away that 5 Steem, and I can see who they gave it to. So everything's very transparent. There are people making hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, even tens of thousands of dollars off of a single blog post. So I mean, you can't say nobody's making money on Steemit. You can't say Steemit's a scam. And if they can do it, you can do it. However, I don't think that's the norm, is people making that kind of money. I think if you get on Steemit purely for the money, I think you're going to wind up being disappointed. I think Steemit is a long-term play in the same sense that affiliate marketing is. A lot of the money that I'm making today in some way kind of traces its roots back to efforts I made way back in 2009 or 2010 starting to create content. I mean, you know, I can create, there's pieces of content that I created 2 days ago that are making me money today, but at the same time, I think some of the foundation I've built goes back way to my early days of first getting started, like blogging and forum commenting and affiliate marketing, things like that. So I do think Steemit is a long-term play. Another thing I think about Steemit, I think all of us are kind of banking on the fact that Steemit hopefully will turn into something someday, right? Like if Steemit stays what it is today, like I said, there are people making money, but I mean, I'm not on Steemit for what it is today. I'm on Steemit for what I think it could become. When I first heard about Steemit, a Reddit/Medium type social media site where you're actually paid for being part of the community and commenting and upvoting and curating and creating content, it's kind of like a groundbreaking concept. It's really cool. Think about how much time you spend on Reddit or Facebook or Instagram or whatever else, and what if you could be paid for your time and efforts and for people enjoying your content. That's really pretty cool. So if Steemit, the platform, can grow, if Steem, the cryptocurrency, can grow, I'm in it trying to get on the ground floor and establish a foundation on the platform, and I'm hoping that it grows into something bigger. And I think to some extent, if you're going to put in a lot of time and effort on Steemit, you want to be an ambassador for the community. You want to help this platform grow, because at the end of the day, you need it to grow for your success to grow as well. At the end of the day, I'll wrap this up by saying this. If you have nothing else going on for you, you don't have any other businesses going on, you don't have any other hustles bringing in money, there's no reason you should not be on Steemit, because you do have the ability to make money. That may transition into something else. You may partner up with somebody on Steemit and start like an e-commerce shop that accepts Steem. Maybe you build some kind of Steem widget or Steem app or Steem tool. If you have nothing else going on, you have nothing to lose by being on Steemit. It is a way for you to make money. If you have a successful e-commerce store or something else you're trying to get off the ground, I think that at least in the short term, that's probably going to bring you more money than Steem. So Steemit. So if you're wrestling between like, oh, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough of my own time and energy to invest in both my Shopify store and Steemit, which one should I pursue? I would probably advise you to pursue the Shopify store or the Amazon merch business or the Fiverr, gig selling or something like that, as opposed to Steemit. But again, there's no reason why you can't be on both. If you are already creating content in any form, it's stupid not to be reposting it on Steemit. So I don't think there's really a one-size-fits-all answer to is Steemit worth your time. I'm not as enthusiastic as I was at the very, very beginning, but I still am. I think to some extent that's kind of my own laziness and my own biases. Can I honestly look myself in the face and say I've given 1,000% effort and dumped all the time that I can into Steemit? I honestly can't say. Have I put in a lot of work? Have I worked hard? Yeah, but have I given it my all? Have I fully committed myself to it? Well, no, because I have other things going on, and I think that kind of plays into the decision of is Steemit worth your time. I have some other ventures that are bringing in pretty good money. So if we're going to go with the 80-20 rule of the things that you put 20% of your time into, return 80% of the results, well, that would not be Steemit for me. I think Steemit would be something where I'm putting 80% of my time in it and getting 20% back of the results. But again, it takes time to interact with people. I think one of my mistakes on Steemit is being very content focused and creating content as opposed to curating other people's content, upvoting other people's content, leaving comments on other people's stuff, becoming a part of these contests and stuff. And that's what I would say. If you're new on Steemit, your introductory post is going to be one of the first and best opportunities you have to make money. Even if you're completely starting out, just being in that introductory post, everybody kind of wants to welcome you to the community and support you, and that's going to be your biggest money-making post for probably your first couple weeks, maybe your first couple months. So put a lot of time and effort into that. After that, I wouldn't suggest you invest a ton of time into creating content, because quite honestly, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. It's going to get lost in that news section. I would recommend creating 5 or 10 pieces of content just so that your blog feed is a little bit filled out, and just so that if somebody does decide to come check out your profile, they can see what you're all about. If your posts are about Game of Thrones, okay, well, this guy's into Game of Thrones. I enjoy Game of Thrones as well. I'm going to follow him. If your posts are about entrepreneurship, I'm into entrepreneurship. I see this guy writes about entrepreneurship. I think you want to focus on your introductory post. Get 5 or 10 quality posts about whatever you feel like you're going to be creating content about the most. And at that point, I would kind of leave the content creating alone or take a step back. And I would spend the vast majority of my effort trying to connect with other people. So commenting on other people's posts, upvoting other people's posts, joining Steemit groups, taking part in a contest like the color challenge of the day or the Minnow support project or whatever other contests are going on. You're going to get a lot further by doing that than you are creating your own content. And then once you start to build a following, maybe 30 days in, 60 days in, once you start to build a following, once you have some followers, once your Steem power starts going up, once I forget what they call the levels, Steem level, whatever, I'm level 50 right now. Once that starts going up, now you want to start creating content because you'll actually be rewarded for it. But if right off the bat you're pumping out awesome content, you're going to be paid pennies for it. So that's my take on Steem, guys. I'm curious to hear what yours is. If you got started on Steem, are you still going, and are you still as enthusiastic as day one? Have any of you given up on Steemit? I'm curious to hear your take and your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, Rules for Rebels signing off, guys.